Chapter 2. Even before we got off the plane, the flight attendant gave us each either a pink or green paper on which we wrote our personal information. This was the first time in my life seeing this paper, and I didn't know which color to pick, but luckily when she saw that I was a foreigner, she gave me a pink paper just for non-Egyptians. Later I discovered that this card was being filled out so that Egypt would have information on who came and went. I filled out my card and I was ready to get off the plane. Well, I tried to get off. But it looked impossible. All the Egyptians tried to get off at the same time and no one wanted to wait, so they blocked the whole aisle. It took another half an hour for the flight attendants to escort people out. Once I was in the airport building, I didn't know where to go or what to do. Nothing was properly marked. I knew I had to buy a visa, but where? All I could see was the currency exchange place, but as I glanced around more, I could see the line leading to the glass booths through which people were passing to get their visas. I thought to myself, great. And got a glimpse of hope and ran right over. When I arrived, there were about 50 other people in line in front of me. When it was finally my turn, I saw a pleasant elderly Egyptian who told me to show him my passport, and I tried to be polite and smiled at him. He returned the smile but said I had to go back to the currency exchange and buy a visa there. I wasn't happy about it, but what could I do? So I went back to the exchange office. There I noticed that they had "buy visa" written on a sign in really small print. So finally I bought the visa for $25 and went back to the gentleman in the glass booth to wait in line again. Thankfully, when he saw me, he called out to me and I didn't have to wait in line. I said to myself, oh thank God. Everything was running smoothly and I finally got my bags. Then something caught me by surprise. An Egyptian man dragging my heavy suitcase immediately rushed over and helped me. What? Here random men help women? I asked myself. The chivalry really took my breath away. I finally walked out of the airport and fumbled through my purse to fetch my phone. I had to call my friend Abdulrahman, who was supposed to be waiting for me. He would be coming all the way from Alexandria to pick me up, and it might take him longer to arrive. I must confess I was really worried that he wouldn't come for me at all, so just in case that happened, I had written a list of other people who could possibly pick me up. I tried dialing Abdulrahman's number, but a recording said the participant was unavailable. Oh no, he forgot about me, so now what? The weird thing was that I wasn't panicking at all and I was totally at peace. I thought I'd wait a little longer, so I decided to walk somewhere less crowded because I don't like attracting too much attention, and there was a group of guys standing right next to me that I'd rather avoid. I turned around and boom. I hit a trash can along with a built-in ashtray and flipped it all over the ground. God, this is so me. I mean really. I was about to bend over and grab the basket when at the same time, ever so quickly, this group of guys ran to me, and in the blink of an eye they picked it all up and put it back. I was really in awe and I was so impressed. There are real gentlemen in Egypt. I expected them to at least laugh at me, but not at all. On the contrary, they wondered if I was all right and asked if I had hurt myself. I said I was fine, and then they started asking me why I was in Egypt, if I needed help, who I was waiting for, and who was coming to get me. So because I didn't want to tell them the whole truth, I said my Egyptian brother was coming to get me. Very surprised, they asked, do you really have an Egyptian brother? I replied, yes I do. Well, they knew I was lying, because if I had an Egyptian brother then I could speak at least the basics of Arabic or know at least something about Egypt, and I wouldn't look like an impossible idiot. Suddenly, I saw Abdulrahman walking in my direction. I shouted enthusiastically, my Egyptian brother is here. I ran to him at full speed and wanted to hug him, but he took a reluctant step back while smiling. I said, are you ashamed? Didn't we say we'd hug at the airport? Come on. And by force I just hugged him. At this moment the group of guys started to laugh and I thought, oh great. Me, who doesn't like being the center of attention, ends up putting on a big show. Abdulrahman thanked the group of men for taking care of me and then led the way to the taxi.